Police and prosecutors in North Dakota agree the state continues to be a hotbed for drug activity. Unfortunately, some of the worst drug trafficking is happening on tribal lands in the state. KX News' Nye Remy talked with some of the people who are trying to put a stop to it.
We are currently experiencing a fentanyl crisis, and leaders in both countries realize the strong effects of the drug. Prior to the pandemic, the United States had improved when it comes down to opioid-related death rate, but in 2017 to 2018, the rate sharply accelerated and increased. Officials say Mexican drug traffickers would routinely smuggle drugs through reservation borders to the United States drug market, mainly distributing meth, cocaine, fentanyl, marijuana, and heroin, which are all widely abused drugs on reservations throughout the region.
Mexico and the United States share a 2,000-mile border, and officials say it has become an easy access for a large percentage of these drugs. According to the Office of Justice, Mexican drug traffickers operate more in the United States than their own country, and it's due to the acts of violence and attention that is drawn to their activities. Drug cartels use drug mules in the U.S. to distribute the drugs through a pipeline, making our own state a main thoroughfare. I spoke with the assistant special agent in charge, who says the drugs are either driven in cars, tractor trailers, transported through airports, and are even mailed by parcels. And as far as the pipeline?
The Detroit pipeline is, well, so they have a sort of like a distribution hub there, and then it just comes across. But we're seeing mainly what we see in North Dakota and here in Minnesota is it's coming up from the southwest border.
On October 10th, Devansha Dabney Kimmel from Detroit, Michigan, was found to be a leader in a drug trafficking organization that targeted 2 Native American reservations in our state. He appeared before a judge at the U.S. District Court of Fargo and was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison, 4 years of supervised release, and a $100 special assessment. Kimmel wasn't the only one charged. In fact, officials say a violent street gang, 5674 Rube Gang, operating out of Michigan, was involved in the transporting of thousands of oxycodone fentanyl pills to North Dakota for distribution in Bismarck, Minot, the Fort Berthold Reservation, and Spirit Lake Reservation.
Detroit is about 1,100 miles from North Dakota. Why do you think they're specifically coming here to commit these crimes?
It might be the misperception that you can target our tribal communities for distribution of dangerous drugs. Perhaps there's the perception that law enforcement isn't up to the task.
According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, fentanyl is nationally the biggest drug threat. Fentanyl is a medicine that is typically used to treat patients with severe pain and is usually prescribed by a doctor. But some drug dealers are mixing fentanyl with other drugs such as heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine. Fentanyl is usually a $3 to $5 pill, but is being sold on our tribal reservations for $80 to $100 a pill, taking advantage of a vulnerable community. I spoke with a man from the Standing Rock Sioux tribe who worked on the reservation for more than a decade, and he says these drug increase is due to a lack of police officers. He says there are only 9 officers covering 2.3 million acres, and they only have about 3 officers per shift.
There's areas that they do their whatever they're going to drop their products off or whatever. So you can go down there and there's these laws that they're not in off the reservation. So you can go down there and commit crimes and basically get a slap on the hand.
Now, the DEA special agent in charge also says a lot of these pills are sold on social media and they are not legit. I will continue the series throughout the rest of the month. Back to you.
Nye Remy with that report.